Through the Sahara, we bring honest pop news, live analysis, expert discussion.
Every day, our lives are occurrence, war, and the world economy.
The people cannot delegate to government the power to do anything which would be unlawful for them to do themselves. The care of human life and happiness, and not their destruction, is the first and only objective of good government. With that, I welcome you to ATN Politics. ATN Politics is the network's flagship program that discusses core political trends with relevant political stakeholders. Today on ATN Politics, we will be discussing core issues from different political landscapes. In Edo State, Shaibu donates campaign office structure and vehicles to the APC. Fayose debunks rumors of his moving over to the APC. Good luck. A brief break, and when we return, I'll introduce my guest and we hit the fireworks running.
I belong to everyone.
Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics,
Nobody's ambition is what they blood.
I have fought very firmly.
natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today. Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics,
Nobody's ambition.
and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
Our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics,
Nobody's ambition is what they blood.
I have fought very firmly.
The pleasure is mine to welcome you back to ATN Politics. The version for today is going to have AIDS, quicks, and scones and fireworks. But I have to introduce to you our guest for today is a political analyst. He's a lot of things in one, but I'm just going to introduce him as a political analyst so that I don't kidnap him when he leaves this studio. He is by the name of Victor Enyiche. It's a pleasure having you here.
Always a pleasure.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
And you too. All right, let's go straight into business. The first story, the former deputy governor of Edo State, Philip Shaibu, has donated his campaign secretariat office to the All Progressive Congress Senator Monday Okpebolo and Honorable Dennis Idahosa campaign organization. The office, located along Airport Road in Benin City, served as the headquarters of Shaibu's gubernatorial campaign until his impeachment in April. The donation includes several Sienna vehicles, utility trucks, and the collapse of Shaibu's campaign structure into the APC. This development comes after Shaibu received members of the APC Campaign Council, led by the Director General, Senator Matthew Urohide, at his campaign office. The secretariat has also been rebranded with all traces of Shaibu's pictures and the PDP logo removed and replaced with the APC and Okpebolo Idahosa branding. Yeah, Mr. Victor, there are indications coming from Edo State, from the former deputy governor that was impeached, that he still has some energy and strength in him. He has been impeached, but he is not forgotten, per se, in the political landscape. What do you deduce from the story that we just read? What are your initial deductions?
Well, I think my deduction is, I think there's a premise on it. I think sometime not on this show, but on
Okay.
the show,
Okay.
I talked about, the interest that might come up eventually during this whole political brouhaha in Edo State. And it's actually interesting seeing that some of the things I predicted or I suspected would happen is exactly what is happening. And I don't think it's a surprise, really.
Okay.
I think rather what it is an obvious move. I mean, that a lot of persons, I'm sure, expected to happen. You know, although there were biases and because it's going to make the election more competitive and more fierce. Exactly. Now there's a strong opposition, you know, unlike prior to the time when we had, you know, just the current governor's candidate. Right now we have two serious candidates. Exactly. They are both incumbent in the sense that one is the incumbent of the governor, PDP, is the party in power in Edo State, whereas the APC is the party in power, the presidency, national. So it's going to be an interesting election, and I know that Tinubu, the presidency, would want to, that's representing the APC now, would want to, you know, maintain or gain more states. You know, APC doesn't have more states in this the south. Yeah. And I'm sure the APC would want to grab, you know, as many as possible states from the south. So it's going to be an interesting one. It's going to make the election interesting. But one of the things that I want to focus on is, or I would like to see, is how the people of Edo State would take advantage of the current situation to get a better or the best candidate out of all the people that are going to be contesting. So for me, it's going to be an interesting fireworks, and I would really like to see how this plays out eventually. Okay.
But in the meantime, Dan Obe of the PDP had also received Philip Shaibu. And Dan Obe is against the political structure of the PDP led by Godwin Obaseki. And per se, I was thinking prior to this move, that the opposition inside the party, intra-party opposition, would be led by Dan Obe and the former deputy governor. This move, what do you think is going? What is it bringing? If is he moving to the APC? If he is moving to the APC, what impact per se is he bringing to the APC? Is he capable of bringing the government of Edo State for the APC, for Adams Oshiomhole, for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu?
Well, politically, of course, he has. There's a lot of Shaibu is not a pushover. Trust me. I mean, during the process of Obaseki coming, especially in the second term election, Shaibu played a major role in that election. Shaibu is a street politician, you know, per se. He's one of those politicians that know how to go down to the roots and play his politics. He's one of those politicians that know how to really get down to the people and play his politics. He's one of the persons that know how to, you know, stir up sentiment, to get the attention of the people. So of course he is going to his donation to the donation of his campaign materials, offices, and all of that to the APC, for me, is a sign. It might not be a done deal. They might not have an already signed deal that, look, this is what we want in the APC, this is what we'll give you. But it could also be a show of, you know, commitment on his part, that, look, whatever I've committed, I said I'm going to do for the APC to ensure that a PDP doesn't win this election, you know, I'm going to do it. And you mentioned Dan Aubrey and how you suspect that he should be the one leading. I mean, I'm very certain that, because Dan Aubrey, I mean, that he has been a major voice. His voice, or his dissenting voice, has not been a secret, has not been silent. We all know his role in terms of the opposition of the government of Obaseki. And I'm very certain that whatever move Shaibu is making, that he also has an interest that might be protected. I mean, just like what is happening in Rivers State, he might still be in the PDP and make his decision. I mean, remember the fiasco in the PDP back and forth about which party they belong to. Exactly. Sure, these days we don't even know if it's the political parties or the individual.
Or the individual.
Yeah, because we have different movements. You hear some persons who tell you that I am of the APC, but I am simplified. I mean, what does that even mean? Or I am in the APC, but I am wikified or whatever they use, term they use. Yeah. So you see, that's the politics that is being played now. Politics of interest, and why the politicians are, you know, flexible in terms of their flexing their interests and negotiating their interests. The people are failing to do same. And what I really love to see is how much the people would benefit from this fiasco that is going on.
Have the people ever benefited?
Not exactly. I think the only time when it seemed or it looked like the people were going to benefit and benefited somewhat in that consciousness of the political is in the last election. Okay. You know, there was a lot of personal deciders. There were people that made decisions not out of political parties. There are people that made decisions not because of political sentiment, not because of political party sentiment, rather, but because of individual sentiment, because of self-belief, because what they saw in certain persons, certain candidate, and individual. Some persons were able to. I mean, one of the places where it is played out, you know, almost beautifully is Nasarawa State. Yeah. I mean, Nasarawa State had a very beautiful opposition where people that were not even so much popular in terms of the political actions going on in the state. That's as an APC state. But you have people from the Labour Party. So there was even a fight that even got to the Supreme Court. You know, for them to decide if Engineer Sule would become the governor of the state via the court. So for me, it doesn't really benefit via their interest. The people should key into this idea and also, you know, tell the politicians, look, we want some, but this is the kind of persons we want. These are the kind of people we want. And if you show us that you are this kind of person, or you have antecedent or precedent that shows that you're this kind of person, then this is the person we're going to throw the support. And I think it's going to help our democracy if that is done. Oh, good. So, in a nutshell, yes or no, who do you predict, being a very good predictor, I don't want to call you a prophet yet, I'm not but you're getting close here, you're getting very close. Who do you predict to win the gubernatorial elections in Edo State, the PDP, the APC, or the Labour Party? I think it's too early to call, honestly. Good. I think it's too early to call. You know, in politics, 24 hours is a long time. Exactly. You know, you sleep and you wake up and I mean, remember when we witnessed in River State, you sleep, the result is like this, and you wake up in the next morning and the result says something else. So, Fayose, he is one not to be disregarded. He's a colossus of Ekiti State. He is one of those that his mantra was, I don't have the PhDs, but you cannot overrule the fact that I matter in Ekiti State politics. Of course. And Ekiti State's governorship under me was memorable. And he should also register, in my own opinion, into the Actors Guild of Nigeria, because he is a center stage politician. And the center stage with the limelight and everything on him. Right now, he is also having accusations from even within his party that he is moving to the APC because the governor, Oyebanji, has been paying so many courtesy calls to him, both in Lagos, both at home, and he is saying that, I mean, this is not political. I mean, the governor just appreciates the fact that I have something to give. I have an opinion that matters to assist him in governing the state. Are the leaders or are the members of PDP in Ekiti State, is their fear grounded that he might leave the PDP, despite what he said? I mean, it's politics, and he has a right to stay or leave, or to. And you know, this is one of the things that I love about the politics in the West, in western part of Nigeria, you know, the Southwest. When they play politics, at most times what they do is they set aside political party interest, and they work with regional interests, they work with the interests of the state, you know, somewhat, the interests of the people. Even if not generality of the people, but the interest within them is put in front, you know, before the political parties. Exactly. So for me, it makes no. I mean, is Wike not a member of the PDP? And he's still with his current minister appointed by the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who is an APC man. Exactly. You know, that alone, I'm sure, would embolden most of these politicians, like Fayose. So we don't need to move. I mean, even if Wike the former governor of Rivers State, a staunch PDP man, can work with the president. Then how about me, that is the brother of the president, that is closer to the president? I think, I mean, I can stay where I am in the PDP, and also, and you know, there's this thing about politics that is going on. Right now, I see a struggle for the hold of politics in Nigeria, and I'm seeing that it's quietly going beyond a single political party. It's quietly going beyond the time where a single political party would hold the nation. You know, it's slightly, you know, sliding down that hill. And what is happening now is that people are realizing that getting same game that Wike is playing. For me, I don't see anything wrong. Okay. And I'm sure that some persons in the PDP in Ekiti State that probably want the influence of Fayose reduced so that they can, you know, exercise certain type of influence. It happens in a party. So I feel that is what is happening and why the news. And even if they said no smoke without fire, I don't see anything wrong with Fayose meeting with the governor, you know, constantly. I mean, we see several times, several occasions where you see the Adeleke, the governor of your state, Osun State, you know, with the governor of Lagos State and how they talk and fraternize. And this is not necessarily politics sometimes. So for me, I think the politics played in the Southwest sometimes goes beyond, you know, the idea of political parties, and it's beautiful to see. I really wish that we in the South, the South, on the Niger Delta, could play such politics, where whenever politics or elections are over, there are certain sentiments are set aside, and then the politics of governance would commence, would take center stage. If we see that, I'm sure that the region, the Niger Delta region, the Southern region would develop, you know, better than we're doing right now. Exactly. So for Fayose, I think it is in his right, completely in his right, to associate with whichever party or whichever individual he wants to associate with. That doesn't take away the fact, or that doesn't say which party he belongs to. I think it's just freedom association he's expressing, and for me, that should not be a yardstick to. And of course, you know, it's not a yardstick for them to say this is the political party he belongs to or he's moving. And with the play of things recently in the country, I think it's safe to say that politicians have. They used to be done, but used to be done at night. Used to be done in secret.
You know, clandestine.
They fraternize, but it usually is at night when we don't see them. But there's this sudden boldness that has come, you know, to the politicians. So they feel, look, I can associate with who I want to associate with. That doesn't define my political inclination. It doesn't define my political direction. It doesn't define my sentiments. Very true. So for me, it's a good thing it's coming to line. Maybe the followers or the supporters would see that flexible. The followers or the supporters are not necessarily taking advantage of that. So I hope, not just believe that, even as the politics is maturing, the idea of followership would also mature, not just the politicians maturing.
Oh, good. We have been speaking to Mr. Victor Enyiche, and we'll go for a very short commercial break, and when we return, we have a lot to pick from his brains. I told you he's a man of timber and caliber. We are going to get as much as possible from him today and let him go free, but we are still going to call him back to the studios on a very good day for him to share much more tidbits with us. Stay tuned and stay with us.
Natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on Atn Politics today.
I hope nobody carry belle.
Why you ask, oh?
Because this road where they see, so it no guarantee safe delivery.
We just vote for government, but we not get good governance.
At all.
Road so no day. Light outside. The infrastructure it can't turn to be forbidden fruit for the city.
Corruption, well everything. Hello?
Hello, madam. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Mrs. Ayeni. I am calling from the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs.
Okay. I've been expecting your call.
Madam, remove this your phone from loudspeaker.
Now my phone be like that. Hello?
Are you there?
I hear, I'm hearing you.
Yes. your invoice for computers, printers, and laptops.
Yes. Are you working on them now?
Ma, the prices you quoted are way too high now.
Madam, sorry, oh. Please don't cost.
We found the laptop you said is 1.8 million naira for 600,000 naira.
Hello?
Now my body network there.
I can't hear you. Network is bad.
Madam, we can hear you. Continue.
Hello, I can't hear you. I will call you back.
Their behavior not good now.
Madam, now this kind behavior they kill our country. You suppose do things differently, make Nigeria for better.
Corruption not in my country. This message is brought to you by the Atn Foundation, the MacArthur Foundation,
and with broadcast support from Atlantic Television Network.
Corruption not in my country.
I don't get a lot. Boy, they won't buga me small. They say, man, give.
Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics.
Nobody's ambition is what they blow.
I have fought very firmly.
Natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
Good to have you back on Atn Politics on Atlantic Television Network right here in the big city of Port Harcourt. This is the center stage of national politics. This is the center stage of political rigmarole. If you don't believe it, grab your newspapers and you will see that Rivers State is the state for political machinations. And right here in the studios, we still have a political analyst of repute, Mr. Victor Enyiche. It's a pleasure, sir.
Pleasure is mine.
Thank you very much, sir. All right, let's dig deep into what we have in front of us. Former Nigerian President Goodluck Jonathan has said that Nigeria, under the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, must do everything within his powers to address factors fueling do-or-die politics in the country. Jonathan, who disclosed this on Tuesday at a public lecture marking Nigeria's celebration of 25 years of uninterrupted democratic governance held at the State House Conference Center in Abuja, said that the political elite and the masses should phase out the region, religion, and other factors propelling politics of bitterness. He urged President Tinubu to encourage a democracy where all citizens are given free will to express themselves without friction, and argued that the political class and elites must lead by example and their lifestyle must reflect that they were elected to the position by the electorate. He also stressed on the need to ensure that the dividends of democracy are felt by all Nigerians regardless of economic status, social class, adding that a situation where children of political office holders are seen spraying dollars at parties is not democracy that Nigerians want to witness. He advocated for a model of democratic practice that will be more inclusive, more and reinforce social cohesion. One good thing I like about a former president, Goodluck Jonathan, is he's more of an idealist. He sees what ought to be and not what is already. But I see this as a pipe dream. Do you see that? The way I see it, that it's just a dream for us to strive towards, but it is not the reality on ground. That the elites and the electorate will be on the same page. The rich and the poor, all classes, region, religion should be subsumed into nationality and patriotism. I mean, are we in heaven or we are on earth? Tell me if you feel the same way I do.
Well, a bit, yes. I mean, I feel, and I'm sure not just me, but a lot of Nigerians would share that sentiment that you have about, you know, the angle and the aspect of, or the believability of what Jonathan has said. But just like you, also, one of the things I admire is the the appearance of the disposition of the former president,
exactly.
Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. He seems to have a disposition of idealism.
Yeah.
He seems to, you know, have an idea of how things should be, you know, while accepting that they are not how they ought to be.
Exactly.
He's also known to point out things. I remember last time he came to Rivers State, I think almost in the heat of the crisis.
Exactly.
And a lot of persons were anticipating some fire and brimstone, but he did not do that. Rather, what he did was to douse the tension and give a middlemanly advice, you know, an advice that is worthy of the status of a statesman. And while it might be a dream, what he's saying, the things he's saying, they are facts and they are truths. They are expectations, they're how it should be. Even though we're not, it doesn't seem. And one of the things I believe also about the former president is you can also match some of the things he's saying or with the things that he did or his disposition when he was president. So you can, to an extent, match his words with actions taken previously.
Exactly.
So for that, I think we can give him like the fact he did not say the presidency, because that is what most leaders, most former people